Hey guys, it's Dan, your host, Judy Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for the Year of the Dead series. This one is going to be doing my throwback review for this week. This one is my throwback review for The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 3, titled Thank You. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for The Walking Dead. This one's going to be doing our next Year of the Dead throwback review for The Walking Dead. This one is our throwback review for The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 3, which is titled Thank You. So, finally got a chance to go ahead and watch this episode again. We're here for the throwback reviews. I do want to definitely apologize to you guys as well too, because I know these past few weeks I've kind of been breaking these up a little bit. It's just been very, very busy with The Walking Dead ending with 11C and all the videos we've been doing for that. And then by the time I do the videos for 11C, I just have no time to film any more videos. So really been trying to get back into these, really trying to continue these. These will continue until the end of December, so make sure to keep that in mind. At the end of the year, Year of the Dead, obviously given the title, Year of the Dead will come to a conclusion, and then there'll be a new series to take its place in 2023, which I will announce by the time this one comes to an end. So anyway, thank you, episode 3 of season 6. Now, I got a chance to see this episode again. I haven't watched this episode in like a couple years at least. I don't know why. This is just not one I go back on. This was a really freaking good episode. I mean, I know a lot of people do not like the fake out. I know a lot of people don't like the Glenn fake out, but I think the episode emotionally and just visually and, you know, exciting action-wise, I mean, this episode really, really landed. And this episode, basically what's going on is that we've got the horn that's going off in Alexandria during the events of JSS when Carol's in there saving everybody, and Morgan as well too, right? And you've got Rick, you've got Glenn, you've got Michonne, and you've got the rest of the Alexandrians that are trying to kind of turn this herd back onto the road. And Daryl, Abraham, and Sasha are kind of worried because they hear about what's going on back home. Now, Daryl's kind of struggling in this episode because he's not sure what to do. And ultimately, he decides after a little while of thinking about it that he's going to go back to Alexandria, and he's going to leave Abraham and Sasha to lead this herd by themselves. So Daryl kind of risks that a little bit in this episode and kind of goes his own way. Now, Rick is also on his way to go get the RV so he can turn the herd around and stuff like that and lead them away. And meanwhile, you've got Michonne, Glenn, and the others that are trying to get back to Alexandria as best as they possibly can. Now, you've got a couple of the Alexandrians that don't exactly trust what Rick is doing. You've got the one guy that's like, oh, he brought us out here to die. And then he dies 2 seconds later. So I'm like, that's what you get for questioning Rick, right? You get Heath as well, too, that doesn't really trust Rick because he knows that Rick says, like, you can try to save everybody, but ultimately when it comes down to it, you keep going, screw them, you make sure you guys get back. That, Glenn and Michonne, that is, right? So, kind of a dark line from Rick, and Heath overhears that and then kind of confronts Michonne about it after, right? But you've got the one guy that gets bit that kind of has, like, a wife back home, and he wants to get back to her before he runs out of time. So they're trying to get him back, they're trying to get this girl back that also has, like, this kind of, like, screwed over leg or whatever, so she can't really walk on it properly, so Glenn's kind of helping her out, and they go into this town basically where they can kind of stay for a little bit, and Nicholas is kind of leading the way all the way through. Now, Nicholas kind of struggles in this episode. He has a lot of moments where he kind of like, he goes into this tunnel vision or whatever, and then he kind of like gets out of it. Nicholas kind of struggles a little bit in this episode as well too, just I guess on the panic of it all, and they end up going into this pet store where they kind of stay and hunker down for a little bit, and I love the scene where Michonne kind of confronts Heath about it, where she's just like, yeah, you haven't been out there like Rick. Rick said what he said, so be it. Have you ever really been covered in so much blood that you didn't know if it was yours or Walker's or your friends, or maybe a little bit of all, right? Then you don't know. You have no idea. So, yeah, I like how she kind of confronts him about that, and they all kind of decide as a group together that they're going to make it out together, right? They're not going to leave anybody behind. They're not going to do anything like that. And Glenn and Nicholas are going to then try to, make it back. They kind of go on their own separate mission and stuff like that. And Nicholas kind of struggles. He sees like a walker that used to be a friend of his that they lost back on like some sort of run or something, and that's kind of bothering him as well too, as he has to put the zombified version of that guy down. And yeah, there's a few scenes there where Nicholas is kind of struggling a little bit, but this is when things really get crazy, because the walker herd then comes to the town, and you've got Michonne and the others that have to fight their way out. Now they have to leave the one girl that has the bad leg. She gets eaten and she dies pretty much right away. So they leave her behind. So it's not a good start, right? They've already left one person behind. And then you've got the other guy that's trying to make it home to his wife, and as they're kind of climbing over this fence, he lets everybody else go first, but there's not enough time for him to get over, so he dies as a result as well too. And you see the note there that he was going to leave to his wife, and it gets stepped on by a zombie or whatever, so that's kind of crazy as well. But Heath, Scott, and Michonne are the ones that get out. Now, you've got Glenn and Nicholas. Now, they get cornered in this alleyway, and I remember at the time I was really freaking out, because there really is no other way. There is no way to get out of there. You are trapped from the outside, you know, the fences, you're surrounded. The zombies are coming down the alleyway, like a huge herd of them. There is really no way out of there aside from getting on top of the dumpster. And this is when Nicholas kind of has his freak out. Now, he is at this point just suicidal. He just wants to kind of end it for himself right then and there. So that's what he does. But as a result, he falls on Glenn and knocks him into the crowd. Now, I remember, man, back in the day, because I remember I was watching Walking Dead back at the time, and I remember when this episode came out, everybody was like, I don't think he's dead, I don't think he's gone, I don't think whatever. And I remember, like, I was like a younger kid at the time, so I was just like, no, he's dead, yeah, like, that's his death, what are you talking about? And then I remember about another day goes by, and I start seeing these theory videos, and I remember I'm like, huh, maybe he's not dead, you know? Like, maybe he's not dead. And we were theorizing it for weeks and weeks on end, and it finally revealed itself in episode 7 that he was alive. But for this episode, man, they really made you think that he was dead. I mean, he even calls Rick dumbass in this episode at one point when he's running back and killing some of the dead on his way to get the RV and stuff. I mean, they really, really trick you hardcore in this episode. So it's emotional at the time, but obviously now it's not. But I'll say the way they did it was very good. I'm actually a defender of the Glenn fake out. I know a lot of people do not like it. I think it's a very well done kind of twist, and I like how they kind of leave you off for a few weeks thinking that he's dead, and then you find out, no, he's not. He's actually just under the dumpster the entire time. Nicholas's body fell on top of him, and that's how it went, basically. So you've got Daryl that decides, okay, I'm going to go back to I'm going to go back to Abraham and Sasha, and then you got Rick that gets attacked in the RV. Now, wolves attack him because of Morgan that let them go, which is kind of frustrating on that end of things, because it's like, damn it, Morgan, like, seriously? Rick almost just died here, man. But they shoot up the RV in the process, unfortunately, and now Rick is trapped, and the dead are coming for him, so he's going to have to bail from the RV and kind of run on foot. So this was an intense freaking episode. This was an intense episode, and I really have no issues with this episode whatsoever. I think they did a phenomenal job with all the dialogue and all the action and the walkers. I mean, the walkers were so scary back here. I mean, seriously. Like, back in Season 6, man, like, they were a force to be reckoned with. Like, when they surround them in the alleyway, when they surround Michonne's group, and they're getting them at their feet at the fences and stuff. Like, we don't get that stuff anymore. We don't get that stuff, and it's very frustrating, because back here, man, this was scary. This was some scary stuff. So, I don't know. That's just kind of my opinion. Let me know now, though, what did you guys think about this episode? I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I thought it was really fantastic and a really good episode for Year of the Dead for The Walking Dead. So, anyway, if you enjoyed this video, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos of The Walking Dead. Make sure to follow me on Dan's The Walking Dead Reviews to get more Walking Dead videos like this. And, of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more Walking Dead videos. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
I've heard stories. Walkers that can climb walls and open doors. I was never sure if they were just stories.